So I got asked a question today from Gregus. Somebody he messaged me on Facebook. He said, "Where did the barrel roll slash bear as your mascot dot logo come from, or is that coming up?" Okay, so he messaged me because I made a video recently talking about the bear dream sequence, and I guess that's kind of unexplained if you're jumping into it. Brad was in this video where he was running around in a dream with a bear. Why a bear? Right, that makes sense. And then what he's talking about is the barrel roll. There's a bear. He's doing the thumbs up, and it's underneath says 4-player podcast. Do a barrel roll, and it's a bear in pilot's outfit stuff. So, why a bear? Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense at all. But so initially, I think when we started, what started the bear things was early on. One of the big clips that started catching on, and it's actually still some of the funniest stuff. It sucks because it's kind of unwatchable now because the quality's so bad in those old clips. But Brad was playing Elder Scrolls, and he got into this thing where the physics with the bear like body, he got into this thing where just screwing around, he started like using some wand to shoot the bear, and the bear would fly and flip around, and he would try to go to the top of like a hill or a mountain and then try to roll the bear down the hill. That's what happened. And then like it was one of those things that started escalating. So originally it was like down a little hill, and then like later on it became a bigger hill, and then after the bigger hill it became more of like a let's try to like use something to catapult the bear off the mountain to get an even further fall. And I think maybe even before rolling it, it was just like poking a bear with a stick, and the bear like like being dead already, but like the body still moving around. And then so I still think those clips are some of the most hilarious shit, because it's just one of those like it's part of video games. It's the part of the glitching, part of the you could never recreate that if you tried kind of sequences. There's one part where the bear's like lying on the ground, and then this like panther jumps out of nowhere, and it looks like the panther comes right out of the bear's ass and scares the shit out of Brad. Like, it's one of those moments when everybody has when they play games, just through random chance stuff happens. And I still think some of those clips are the most hilarious clips. Yeah, and then I want to say there was a couple other bear sequences. There's definitely other games for sure that had bears in them, and it just like it kept going. But it was Elder Scrolls, and then immediately after Elder Scrolls, in the very, very very near each other, within the same 6 months or so, we played a game called Condemned 2, or Brad and Nick did. I was actually out of town in China at the time, and I was watching on the feed, and they did the whole, the holy crap, it's a bear, right? And when they did that, it was one of those things that's like, oh shit, there's a bear again. And so it just became this thing where it's like, well, that's funny. Actually at one point I had talked to Mike. I was like, hey, can you draw up a picture? And either we're going to put it on a shirt or a poster, and it's going to be like the four of us, like Brad in some sort of like fake armor, and Nick in some sort of, weird Resident Evil outfit, and Travis in some sort of samurai armor, and me in some sort of like, whatever. And we were just going to be the four of us like looking forward to the camera, and then there would be like this shadow of a big huge bear, and that was going to be the shirt that we were going to release. But it just never got, it never got around to being done. But yeah, man, bears. And I was goofing around. It just ended up being a thing. And so Mike actually is the one who drew the bear logo. And, it was the whole do a barrel roll thing, because, Brad was rolling bears. But one of the things, too, is Mike was really into planes. And he's into especially the old-fashioned, like, World War II kind of those planes. And so in drawing it, he was like, well, do a barrel roll. Yeah, that's funny. Why don't I just make the bear into a pilot? And we're like, yeah, sure. And I actually, maybe I can find it, but I still remember, I think I still have the original file where he sent me the 3 different types. He drew 3 types of bears. He was like, here's a bear with this, here's a bear with this, and here's a bear with this. and they're all pilots. And then he was like, I'm just gonna draw them, and then he sent them to me, and I was like, oh, hey, I think I like this one, and that's the one we went with and drew. Yeah, and yeah, and he put a like scarf and stuff. Like that's great, man. I love working with people. I love working with artists, especially my friends. Because I like that process. I like the process of like, this is kind of going a little bit off topic or something. But if you guys ever work with artists, if you're gonna work with them, the biggest thing you need to do is you need to be able to explain yourself clearly. And you have to make yourself very clear so that the artist knows what you want. Because you got to remember, they're just drawing stuff. And if you are unable to paint a clear picture in their mind of what you're looking for, then they're just going to be drawing whatever, and they're going to be timid about drawing because they don't have a very clear vision. So I remember when Mike and I were working on the barrel roll thing, I just remember like, oh dude, yeah, it's got to be like this. I'll make him have a big scarf in the back and some goggles and and we worked together, and I love working with Mike, and actually I'm kind of talking to him right now about working on stuff. So maybe it's something that him and I will revisit years after the fact, because it's been a long time, man. That's probably actually a video that I need to make too, working with Mike. Anyways, this video's going a little bit too long. Thanks for listening. If you ever wondered why there was a barrel roll or why we were obsessed with bears, there's little stuff like that. There's actually a shirt out that said Brad's Bra Bear Rolling Academy, BRA. Yeah. Maybe I don't even know if they still sell it anymore. Thanks for listening. Bye.